I'm going to put guides in these 289 heads, and you can see here somebody's already put valve guide liners in there to try and save it one time before, but I don't like using those because they move around and like this one's hanging out, and there's a couple of them that are actually hanging out the bottom. But before I do new guides, I trim everything down like this to where it's a ½ inch around, and then when I come up from the other side, or come in from the other side to cut for the new valve guide, this will pop off, and I have this nice finished area under the spring where the guide presses in. Otherwise, if I just go in there and I punch my ½ inch hole and then put my oversized guides in there, what will happen is these cast-in guides will crack, and it's not really a big issue, but I don't like it, and it just bugs me. So in the name of perfection, I trim them down, and then I go back after I trim them down, and then I roll it over and I drill for my guides, drill and ream from my guides, and get completely rid of that, because there's not really going to be a purpose to it, especially when it cracks like that. When you put a positive valve stem seal on there, you trim it down to a ½ inch anyway, and so I just don't see the need for it. So I always just leave the replacement pressed in guides sticking up, and that makes it easy to do your positive valve stem seals if you're going to do that, and if you're not, what difference does it make? But that way I don't have all those little cracks and just funny shit going on under the valve springs. I know the cracks are there, and that's what bugs me, and so that's how I get around that. So I'll go ahead and finish trimming these, and then we'll roll it over, and we'll get into how we drill and ream for the replacement guides and how we put those in there.